Hollow Knight. What is Hollow Knight? Hollow Knight is a game made by Team Cherry, a small indie studio based in Adelaide in Australia. It was originally launched on February 24th of 2017 for Windows, later expanded to Mac OS, Linux, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. The engine they used to make Hollow Knight is Unity. Hollow Knight is a 2D action-adventure platformer in a Metroidvania genre. Players explore a vast, interconnected underground world called Hollownest, filled with secrets, enemies, and environmental storytelling. The game emphasizes non-linear exploration, challenging combat, and minimalist narrative, making it a standout title in the indie scene. So you may be wondering, why am I bringing up Hollow Knight, an indie game? Well, today, the topic I will be discussing is why you should play and support indie games while also on big company games such as Sony, Xbox, and especially Nintendo. Assalamualaikum and greetings. My name is Tengku Muhammad Adam Putra bin Teguh Rinala Putra. My matrix number is F1017 and welcome to my video presentation. Why do we have to support indie games? Firstly, innovation without boundaries. Indie developers aren't tied to corporate mandates or mass market formulas. They experiment with new mechanics, new art styles, and unconventional storytelling. Games like Hollow Knight, Celeste, and Undertale show how small teams can redefine. Second, diversity of voices. Indie games often reflect personal stories, cultural perspectives, and underrepresented themes. They give space to creators from different backgrounds, identities, and regions. This leads to more inclusive narratives and gameplay experiences. Third, community driven development. Indie devs engage directly with players through forums, Discord, and social media. Feedback often shapes updates, expansions, and sequels. Supporting them builds a stronger, more collaborative gaming culture. Fourth, creative risk taking. Without pressure from publishers, indie teams can take bold risks. You'll find games that blend genres, break rules, or challenge norms, things AAA studios rarely attempt. Fifth, affordable and accessible. Indie games are usually cheaper and many offer free demos or early access. They're available across platforms, PC, mobile, console, making them easy to try and share. You can support indie games by buying their games or wishlist them on platforms like Steam, share your favorites on social media or with friends, join communities and leave reviews, and lastly, support crowdfunding campaigns or Patreon projects. Supporting indie games isn't just about playing something different, it's about investing in the future of gaming itself. Here are my top 10 most recommended indie games you can play and support. Number 1, Hollow Knight or Hollow Knight Silksong, a deep exploration, hand-drawn art, and challenging combat. 2, Undertale or Deltarune, an innovative combat system and emotional storytelling. Number 3, Celeste, precision platforming with a powerful mental health narrative. Number 4, Stardew Valley, farming simulator that revived and redefined the genre. Number 5, Hades, a fast-paced roguelike with rich story and playability. Number 6, Cuphead, 1930s cartoon visuals with brutally hard boss fights. Number 7, Slay the Spire, deck building roguelike that inspired a whole subgenre. Number 8, The Binding of Isaac, dark and addictive roguelike with endless replay value. Number 9, Dead Cells, fluid combat and procedurally generated levels. Last but not least, Balatro, a poker-inspired roguelike deck builder with addictive strategy and stylish presentation. Now, on to the next chapter, why we should boycott big companies. There are 5 reasons why we should boycott big company games. The first one is greedy monetization, overuse of microtransactions, loot boxes, and pay-to-win mechanics. Games launched incomplete, then sold at the expensive DLCs or battle passes. Second, exploitation of developers. Crunch culture, long hours, poor conditions, and burnout. Lack of credit or fair pay of creative teams. Third, broken or rushed games. Release buggy, unfinished games. For example, Cyberpunk 2077 at launch. Eventually relying on post-launch patches instead of proper testing. Fourth, copy-paste sequels. Minimal innovation in yearly franchises. Example, sports games, EA specifically. And then prioritizing profit over creativity or player feedback. The fifth, toxic corporate behavior, allegations of harassment, discrimination, or unethical leadership, or handling of community backlash or censorship. In the quiet hum of a loading screen, in the flicker of a pixelated stars, we remember why we first picked up the controller. Not for battle passes, not for loot boxes, not for the dopamine drip of a daily logins, but for wonder, for stories whispered in 8-bit lullabies, for the thrill of discovery, the joy of becoming someone else, if only for a while. There was a time when games were made with heart, not just code and crunch, but soul. A time when a single developer in a quiet room could craft a world that made millions feel seen, not because it was perfect, because it was true, because it dared to be different, because it didn't ask for your wallet, it asked for your trust. We played not to climb ranks, but to climb mountains, not to unlock skins, but to unlock meaning. We wandered through strange lands, not knowing what we'd find, only knowing it mattered. We met characters we didn't just fight, they forgave, they stumbled, they grew. We weren't just players, we were participants in something fragile, something beautiful, something real. While the giants chased profit margins, we chased the meaning. While they fought the market with sequels and skins, we find magic in the margins, in the glitchy charm of a pixelated smile, in the haunting echo of a forgotten melody, in the courage of a child who saves the world not with violence, but with kindness. We don't need billion-dollar trailers, we need truth. We need games that care about us, about the world, about what it means to be human. So let them have their empires. Let them count their coins. We'll build something better, $1 at a time. One dev, one dream, one daring idea that says you matter, you belong, and you are not alone. Because in the end, the greatest games aren't the loudest. They're the ones that stay with you long after the credits roll, like a memory, like a friend, like a theme you hum when the world feels too heavy, and maybe, just maybe, that's the kind of game worth playing. Or you can just play whatever you want. I don't really care anymore. Uh, and that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.